What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Now, before we get to Justin's interview, this is the deck list that he used to get the second place at Ontario Provincials. As you see, it is an Yveltal deck, but instead of giving him his full list, he only gave a skeleton list, which is 9 cards off. And I mean, from this list, you can see it's a pretty straightforward Yveltal deck with lasers, verbing, and stuff like that. Some things you can add into is maybe like head ringers. You saw in the other interview, Kyle's, he had played Acrobike. You can play Crushed Hammer, you can play Enhanced Hammer, you can play Escape Ropes with the Switch if you want to. You can put a Garbodor line here, like a 2/2 Garbodor with Floatstones. There's so many things you could do in this deck. You can upgrade the Darkrai. You can play like Energy Switch. You can play, I don't know, there's so many things you can fit in this deck. Bicycles if you want to. So you just kind of have to play around with it, see what you like. You can add protecting supporters too, like Zerosic. Maybe put a Center Lady, maybe even Flare Gun if you want to. Maybe a Cassius trump card. There's a lot of stuff in this deck, but this is a really good, a really good 51 card skeleton list to start working off of. But I hope you enjoyed the interview, and thanks for watching. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we're doing the States Question Answer video with Justin Young. And Justin, where are you from?
I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana.
So where'd you play it last weekend?
I played in Toronto, Canada.
Oh, okay. So a different country. Very nice. So,
Yeah.
How'd you end up doing a Swiss?
I ended up going 502 after starting, or sorry, 500, or no, 502, so 2 ties, 5 wins after tying my first 2 rounds.
Okay. Now, what were the decks that you played against?
First round, I played against Yveltal with Garbodor and Seismitoad. Okay. Second round, I played against another Yveltal, Seismitoad. Then, yeah, 2 mirrors to start the game. Pretty fun.
Yeah.
Tied against both those, and then I played against Crobat, Seismitoad. Beat that. Then I went against, after that, I played against Metal with Aegislash, Heavy Aegislash, and a couple Dialgas. Then I played against Executor with, Executor. It made a showing. Played against Executor, beat them 2-0.
So, I know a lot of people are hyping the X deck. How did you manage to beat it?
Seismitoad's really good against eggs. They rely a lot on the trainer engine to get set up, and also with crushing hammers and enhanced hammers. I was able to use Toad a lot and keep them under poison lock and knock out Executors and take an early lead and be able to beat them in the end.
Okay. Alright. So,
then after that round, now we're in round 6, I believe. Round 6, I played against another mirror, this time without Garbodor. So I played against another Yveltal, 2 of them. And then my final round, it was pretty funny because this is the round, as not a lot of people know, I was at 257 to start the day, and I needed top 8 to be able to get my invite. So if I won this game, I would have won this match. Sorry, won the match. I would have gone on to Worlds. If I lost, then I would have to try again next week, etc. Played against the Night March deck, which is typically, in my opinion, favorable because I played the deck so long. But game 1, he rolled me. Game 2, I ended him in the bad cards, and I Seismitoad locked the rest of the game and won. Game 3, he decides to go first, starts Pumpkaboo, plays Juniper, passes. I have Yveltal, Attach an Energy, Muscle Band, and I Donka Pumpkaboo into Worlds.
So you scream because you get your invite?
I almost missed it, actually. I almost missed it. I thought it was too easy. I almost played the Ultra Ball, discarding a Dark and a something else random, and was going to go for Seismitoad because I had the double colors in hand. But then I was like, I said in front of him, I'm like, oh, wait, I have game. And I attached my energy and my muscle band, and I won the game.
He's like, why did he slow roll me?
Yeah, I honestly missed it, like, because I had my cousin there and Carl Shu. They were both like, is he gonna miss it? So it was pretty funny. I laughed a little bit, but then I was like, man, that sucks, man. Sorry. At least I got the world.
Yeah, true. So now you're in top 8. Are you just like excited that you got your Worlds invite, or?
That was a big relief. After I got top 8, that was the main goal into going up there. Like after that, I'm kind of like, okay, well, let's see if I can't get a bye or see if I can't get some stuff to help pay for the trip up there.
Okay.
So top 8, I played against Plasma, which honestly I was not expecting at all. I thought it was just gone, forever done, with code being so popular. So I was honestly shocked that I made top cut, but still, I validated considering he was a great player. So played against him. I think it was Peter Ma. I'm not very familiar with a lot of Canadian players other than like Curtis Leon, the Lesages, Estrada, but I wasn't very familiar. But he seemed like a pretty well-known player. But anyway, so we played, and the strategy I had going into that was kind of to abuse Toad late game more than early game. So I baited him a lot with my Yveltal, so I powered him up on the bench but never used him. I was just staying Toad lock. And the matchup kind of went, he would get damage out early with Thunderous to power up. I put a lot of damage on a Thunderous. Then he would move up a Lugia, Lysandra up a Yveltal, knock that out for 3 prizes. Then I would come back with another Yveltal, knock out the Lugia. He'd then kill my Yveltal with his Thunderous. Then move him down to 1 prize left. Then I'd Toad lock him plus an in, put him down to 1 card, and a lot of times they can't recover.
That's true. Now, was his list more? I mean, you talked about Lugia some, but was it more Lugia than Kyurem?
Yeah.
Or, yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was speed Lugia.
Okay.
So with roller skates, acrobike, and so forth.
Okay, so the Toad really came in clutch.
Yeah, it definitely did help the matchup a lot. I will say that.
Okay. So now you're moving to top 4. What are you playing against now?
Another mirror. This was my second round opponent. He ended up making top 4 with me, so it was pretty nice seeing him after our game didn't finish the first time. Okay. So game 1 with that matchup, I got a Yveltal and pass turn, and he Toad locked me, and I just didn't have anything. So lost game 1 in top 4. So starting out that way was kind of rough. I'm just like, oh, top 4, and I lose a game in 3 minutes. Cool, that's a good start. Game 2, he starts off bad. He starts lone Trubbish, and I go Seisma Toad, Laser, and I win on turn 2. So it kind of went the other way. Then game 3, he started off a little bit rough, but we still played it out, and he had to discard a DCE turn 1, and I was able to get rid of some more DCEs later on in the game, and he just ran out of energy to be able to consistently hit me because I was Seisma Toad locking. He had something like a 15-card hand, but he had nothing to attack me with other than basic Dark. So I was able to, later on in the game, put 50 damage on a Yveltal, then Lysandra it up and one-shot it for the game.
Okay. Now you're into finals. Are you scared or nervous or anything?
Not really, because, funny story, so in top 8 in Canada, there were 6 Canadians and 2 Americans. I was one, and my cousin was actually the other one. So my cousin even had a better story going into the event. So top 8, he got a bye. His opponent did not show up until 9 minutes and 55 seconds.
Okay.
So it was too late into the round, so he got a win, and it was going against. You did an interview actually on him. It was the Groudon Dusknoir deck, which honestly it was an awful match for him. It was complete garbage. He had almost 0 way to win, but he was gonna try still. So he was upset that he didn't get to play the match still, but he was still relieved that he did not have to play against a bad matchup. So as anyone would be.
Yeah, that's true.
And again, it's a shame, but time limits are time limits. So
yeah, true.
Then after that, he played against Garbodor. Again, little backstory: he was playing fairies for the event.
Okay.
Straight fairies with Gardevoir. So if it was a toolbox fairy, I felt like I would have had a better matchups in the finals, but it was just straight Gardevoir. So me and my cousin actually get a meet in finals. So I go in the matchup. I'm like, so we're both in the same car, riding home. We both came up together. We're the only 2 Americans in top, and we meet in the finals. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew I had a really bad matchup, but because it's straight fairies with Mega Gardevoir, they one-shot me. I barely even touched them thanks to the resistance and everything.
Yeah, sure.
And since they have counter stadiums, it makes it really hard to put a lot of damage in with max potions and so forth. It's a hard matchup, I will put it that way. But I decided to give it a go and at least get some play testing under my belt against the matchup, a little bit more than we already had. But actually, it turned out to be really close games. They were long, drawn-out games, but I felt like me not knowing the matchup very well caused me to misplay here and there. Mostly in game 2, but game 1 we have a long drawn out game. I in him down to 1 card for like it was like every other turn, so like 3 out of 5 turns, and he gets the porters off each one, and I'm like, well, I tried.
So what happens?
It happens, so I'm not bitter about it. It's just a little luck that went his way, so like can't hate him for it. So so we have a close game 1. I get down to 2 prize cards left with a Darkrai in play with a 30 on the bench and an Aromatisse to snipe off. I already have the Muscle Band, so I can one-shot it with resistance and so forth. So my play was just to Lysandre next turn, kill that, and 1 other bench Pokemon for the game, and he has the win in hand. So nothing I can do. So move on to game 2. Game 1 was almost 45 minutes, I think. So it was really long game 1. Then game 2 comes around, and I actually have a lead in this game. I was able to keep his Fritzies off the board, and with Size and Total Lock, I was able to still get a lot of damage on the board. So I had both of his Zarniuses up to 60 and 50 HP apiece, so they were easy kills later on in the game. And I lasered his Gardevoir, because if he was going to one-shot me, he would lose his Gardevoir and 3 energies. So I missed the Verbank, or I would have killed it beforehand, and he wouldn't be able to take the prizes, but I missed the Verbank, so... happens, no big deal. So he takes the prizes on my Yveltal, moves himself down to 2 prizes. I take 2 prizes. I'm down to 3. I already have the knockouts on Zarniuses on the bench. He moves up a Malamar EX with 3 energies. I misplay here, which probably cost me the game. So I move up my Darkrai with 3 energies attached. I have a Yveltal, a Energy Switch, a Energy, and a Double Colorless. And a Muscle Band, all in hand. And I attached the Muscle Band to Darkrai before even thinking twice, because I figured I was attacking with Darkrai, and I didn't look at my hand. So the Malamar had 3 energies on it, so if I had and a damage counter on it, that's what made it huge. So if I had the Double Colorless, the Energy, and the Muscle Band, I could have done 160 and took 3 more energies off his board and pretty much sealed up game 2. But I don't, so he has the Lysandre, he brought up my Jirachi on the bench, flipped 2 out of 3 heads on Maximar and won the tournament that way, so...
Was it like the first 2 coins?
No, it was 1 and 1, the 3rd flip.
Oh, man.
Yep, it has to be the 3rd flip. So he won the tournament. Congratulations to him, David Housesucker again. It was a well-played series, like I had no bad feelings about it. It was, again, my cousin, so if I could lose to anyone, I'd rather it be him, so... Plus, I didn't really need the points anyway. I would have liked the first round bye, but, you know...
Just a little bit?
I got to earn it in Tennessee, right?
Yeah. We'll see. Alright, so why'd you decide not to play Garbodor for this tournament?
I've played Yveltal for a while now. I've never really liked the Garbodor in the list. I felt Garbodor kind of clumps up the list a little bit more. It makes it a little bit slower. It adds a couple more bad starters. And I also think that Darkrai is a really strong ability, because nowadays a lot of Pokemon don't have free retreat. So a lot of decks like Groudon, Kyogre, let's even talk about Plasma, have to play high switch counts to even be able to function properly in this format. And with Seismitoad being so big, and Switch being a dead card with Laser out there, like, Darkrai's ability is even stronger than ever.
That's true.
I didn't want to shut that off, and then I didn't feel like abilities are the biggest problem nowadays, with Groudon not having an ability to stop, with Seismitoad not having a really ability to rely on, Yveltal not having the ability to rely on. The only thing that really has abilities that really affect you too much are Fairies, and Virizion Genesect that really come in huge, and I didn't feel like I felt like you could handle the matchups, but they were bad enough matchups that Garbodor wouldn't help the matchup too much.
Okay. Now, why did you decide to play Yveltal overall for this day?
I was told to play my deck that won Kentucky States the previous weekend. I actually gave my list to Adler Pierce. He played Virizion Genesect Manectric, and he ended up winning Kentucky States with the list the week beforehand. A lot of people were telling me to go with that list, and I was test playing, and then I honestly almost switched to Fairies, my cousin's list the night before, which could have been interesting.
Yeah.
In the end, I stuck with my Yveltal deck. In the end, I felt the most comfortable in that list. I played it the entire season long. I won 4 city championships with the list, and I felt like I was the most comfortable, and I had that list hammered out the most. And I still feel like Yveltal is, if not the best deck, it's at least top 3.
That's very true. All right.
Depending on the meta, of course.
Yeah. So, how many championship points are you sitting at right now?
I am now at 347 championship points.
There you go. Very nice, sir.
How many are you at, Squeaky?
I'm at 357.
Oh, I did it.
So close. So close.
Tap the muscle to Yveltal.
Yeah, we would have been tied.
Don't worry, I'll pass you this weekend, Squeaky. I got you now.
We'll see. We gotta play each other.
Exactly.
Last round of Swiss. Whoever makes it in, we're gonna play. That's gonna be that
exactly.
round.
That's the winning in. Who's gonna move up in points?
Okay. So, you wanna give any shout outs to anybody?
I would give major shout outs to Tyler Keller, Trey Reese, Quebec Kid, otherwise known, Adler Pierce, Jared Reese, Tyler, Trey, Jared, Adler, all helped me build the list over certain points in time. Test playing partners, they've always been great. I talk to Tyler almost every night, talk about the decks, and talk about theory mon and figure everything out. I talk to them nearly every night, or talk to most of them on a weekly basis at the bare minimum, to figure out deck strategies and what's being played and stuff like that. So huge shout out to them. Shout out to the Bradshaws for taking me up to Canada this weekend and being there even through the long day 1 and day 2. For anyone who doesn't know, Canada didn't start, and our Toronto Provincials didn't start until about 4 p.m. Swiss, and barely finished before midnight. So, well run, I'm not going to lie. 8 hours for 8 rounds of Swiss, not too bad, but still, we'd rather not start at 4 next time.
Now, do you know why they started at 4?
The venue was not big enough. They had juniors and seniors both start at 8 a.m. And finish before we started playing.
Okay.
So that was a little bit rough, but sometimes you can't always find the space needed. So
yeah.
Still, I'm not mad about it. Like, it was still overall pretty well-run event. I'm not upset about it at all. Like, I've been used to playing Pokemon late at night. I still remember one year at Nationals, I played a Magnezone Yanmega. I was testing it all night, and I'm like, okay, I have an idea. Don't laugh at me. I'm going to play Junipers instead of Copycats. And it actually worked. I never lost a match, but I did deck myself out to... That's how I lost my matches. I decked myself out. No one ever took 6 prizes on me, so then in Top Cut, I actually decked myself out as well. So it was pretty bad. But I made it to top 128, so it was pretty great. But that was at 3 a.m. That was a 3 a.m. decision for you. And I didn't go to bed until 5. So, and I had to wake up at 7. So.
Okay, man.
But yeah, shout out to all of them again for helping me out with the list, and again for my invite and everything.
Oh, there you go. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for doing this, and I guess I'll go look at Tennessee, and I'll see you there.
Yeah, we'll see you there, Squeaky.
Alrighty, man. Take care.
Alright, you too.
Alrighty, bye.